Singapore Health Minister Ong Ye Kung says the latest U.S. tariff ruling may create more uncertainty for businesses in the country. He was responding to CNA's questions about after President Trump imposed fresh tariffs using a different trade law.
I think what we need to do is to really settle down. What investors and businessmen do not like is uncertainty, not tariff per se. If there is a tariff that is consistent, they can plan how to invest, how to export, import, do business, and factor that into their business costs. What is not good for businesses is when it's uncertain, and then you can't plan ahead. So we really hope over time things will settle down further.
The newly announced duties will last for 150 days or close to 5 months. Mr. Trump has also ordered his administration to look into other laws that could allow him to reimpose taxes. Market watchers say this means tariffs may become targeted and sector-specific, especially for industries like semiconductors, logistics and pharmaceuticals. To stay ahead, analysts say firms need to be agile and adapt quickly.
Businesses may have to be clear their certificate of origin or ensure that they are not going to be targeted because there's questions around whether whatever they are using, they're exporting to the US is made in Singapore or there's substantial value add in Singapore. So that's also very important. And then I think businesses need to level up their paperwork game in preparation, whether you are certified, what kind of certification you're going to get in your respective sectors.
Even before this recent case, it was quite clear that getting into the American market, keeping tariffs something that you could afford, was going to be difficult. You have to explore other countries, other markets. And I think this reinforces that drive. The Singapore government's announced aid for companies to globalize, and all the more we should pick up our effort and really push in this direction. We mustn't give up America, but with this uncertainty, we better look for alternatives and plan B.
The U.S. Supreme Court dealt a setback to President Trump's trade agenda by ruling that his sweeping tariff regime was illegal. That ruling opens up a more than $170 billion question, with importers set to launch legal fights to get refunds. In a 6-3 verdict, the court struck down Mr. Trump's invocation of a 1977 emergency law to impose a baseline tariff of 10% on top of the so-called reciprocal tariff that ranged from 10 to 41%. In a bid to preserve his trade agenda, Mr. Trump pivoted to another law, allowing him to impose new levies.
Well, we're going straight ahead with 10% straight across the board, which was the absolute right to do. And that's taking place. That's a lot of money coming into our country. And then during that period of about 5 months, we are doing the various investigations necessary to put fair tariffs or tariffs, period.
Under Section 122 of the 1974 Trade Act, Mr. Trump is allowed to impose levies to address a balance of payment deficit. Also at his disposal are several other tools. Already, U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer has signaled that the administration is starting investigations to establish a more permanent legal basis for tariffs. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent saying that the administration can also levy duties under Section 232 and 301 and called on countries to honor the trade agreements with Washington.